So coming into the French Grand Prix, we always thought it was going to be a tough race tire-wise. So much so that we qualified on the medium tire with both drivers to give us the best chance of having a clean race and the best chance of doing a one-stop race. So we started on the medium with both cars. We very quickly realized that we were struggling with pace on the medium tire. This brought us to think, one, is this medium tire bad for us, and once we put the hard, it's going to be okay, or are we in trouble with both compounds? With Charles, once he started to get overtaken by the McLaren of Ricciardo, we chose to get him onto the hard tire and see how that tire went. While with Carlos, we said, okay, we are suffering with the medium, let's try and make that second stint on hard as short as possible by extending this first stint on the medium. With Charles, by stopping on lap 14, we had undercut nearly everybody we were racing, and Charles led the midfield for a little bit. Very quickly realized it was not going to be possible for us to make it to the end. We had to keep on going on that hard tire, even at slow pace, until there were only around 14 laps left at the end. So again, we had to put another medium tire. We thought that second medium tire would allow him to make it to traffic, but it wasn't the case. While with Carlos, we had stopped later, and that allowed him to go to the end on the hard tire, albeit at a very poor pace, but it allowed him to do the one-stop race. Tire wear and tire degradation are two different things. You can think about it as a tire wears, it provides less grip, and so it gives you a slower lap time. This slower lap time is manifested as degradation. So in most cases, these two things are linked. But there are some cases in which you could have very high tire wear and you do not suffer lap time loss. For example, if you go to a track in which all the lap time is created by the traction of the rear tires, you can have very high front wear but still get decent lap times. This happens at places like Baku or Monte Carlo, where you go to tracks in which the wearing axle is the one giving you the lap time. So let's say Barcelona is a track in which the front tires give you the lap time. If you have a lot of front wear, it translates into deg. If we go to Paul Ricard, it's a track that is more in the Barcelona side of things. It's a track in which the drivers suffer very high front wear. We actually suffer with our lap times, and that is why we struggled a lot on the race. Yes, so far this season we are seeing this race that we have a car that is very strong in qualifying, but it struggles more on the race. It is a fact that there are some tracks in which you can get away with this. For example, in Monte Carlo, you only need a very strong qualifying car because people cannot overtake you. So you can have a slow race car and still bring points at the end of the weekend. There are other races in which you can have a very strong qualifying car, but if you don't have a strong race car, you will bring no points to the race. This usually is dominated by how difficult it is to overtake at a given track, and also by how many stops there are. Going back to the French Grand Prix, it was a race in which it is more beneficial to have a quick race car than a quick qualifying car, and this is something we are working on to improve in the coming races. With hindsight, we would have probably have committed to a two-stop earlier with both cars. The tire behavior was different to what we expected, and we would have had to commit to a two-stop with both cars. Even though it would have not been competitive, it would not have saved our race. At least we would have given our drivers a better way or an easier way to finish up higher up the ranks with a two-stop race.